Okay, your page is coming up correctly. Now, that blue on the white background is a little hard to read, but you'll probably change that as you go to the next milestone. You have the big issue is your style sheet's not being applied correctly. So, first of all, you don't want to have two style sheets. You just want to have one main style sheet, and that's the style.css. And you don't have your folder structure set up correctly. You remember last week, what you're doing is you're copying from one task to another, and you should have already a folder called images, and you should have a folder here called CSS. And then your style sheet has to go in the CSS folder, because if you look at your code here, it's saying go find it in the CSS folder. So what we need to do is then we're going to move the style into the CSS folder. I'm not sure where the main comes in play. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Now, with that said, let me go back here to my brackets, save that real quick, and refresh the page. There's some changes. You can see something has happened. So let's open up your style sheet real quick. Okay, so you got some, okay, with the margins and so forth. Now what you want to do is right here where you have inline styles added, I would take this and add it to the H2 tag. So I'm going to cut that out, and then you're going to put this down here where the H2 tag is. Okay, and then you don't need this here because you want it to be applied to every heading 2. The same thing for down here where it says H4. So what I would do is I would have an H4 tag, and I would put in the color aqua there. And then you don't need to have that at that point. Now the only thing I would suggest here, you have a list here. I think this list needs to be in the main page. So it should be above the footer. The footer is at the bottom of the page, so you shouldn't have anything below that. So I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to put it right up here after your heading 2. Okay, so now let's just refresh this page. So basically it's making this the bullets right below there than the footer. Now this text here, seems to be a large amount of text. So let's take a look at that code real quick. Okay, so you're making this whole paragraph a heading 2. You really don't want to make a whole paragraph. You only want to, heading tags are only used for headings, titles like newspaper titles, and so forth. So this one should be simply a paragraph tag. Now, if you want to bold something inside here, like for example, I will bold Happy Paul's Pet Store because I want it to stand out. That's all right to do. And so when I do this, it's going to change. See how bold that stands out? So again, we just have to make some minor modifications to this to make sure you're on the right track.